And good evening, everyone, and welcome into the UFC Fight Cards podcast presented by Orange Fire Media. I'm Russ Renault, your host, and thanks for joining us here again on another Sunday night in the Houston area. A little sad news for us Astros fans is we waited till the outcome was determined. So unless the Astros come back big in the bottom of the ninth, we know how that one's going to go. We've got a Game 7 tomorrow at Minute Maid Park. But you're not here for baseball, you're here for UFC. And we had UFC 294 yesterday from Abu Dhabi. We're going to go through that. We are going to show off our Michael Chandler collection tonight if you're a Michael Chandler fan. Just to show you what cards we have in that one. I think it's pretty solid collection you might be interested in. We're also going to go through our hits again from our rips that we had of Select, Prism, and Donruss. We'll show you the numbered cards, the autograph cards that we have left, also the memorabilia cards. So if you're interested in any of those, you can reach out and you can buy those. So just get in touch with us here and we will make those available to you, because this is not a break show. This is, you see a card, you like it, you buy it. So it's really easy. And this is your show. So I may be the host, but we want you to be involved. We want this to be your community and the place that you come to talk about UFC. Everybody else talking about football and baseball today, but if you want to talk about fights, this is your place. You can come on this show, and it is open for everybody. And just get in touch with us, and we'll work that out and try to set that up for sometime down the road. And so we appreciate you being in here tonight. So before we get to those stacks of cards that you see there in front of you, we've got to go through the fight card schedule, and so we will start off with that. And UFC 294 from Abu Dhabi yesterday afternoon here in the States, and our main event was for the lightweight championship. Once again, we had Islam Makhachev defending against the featherweight champion, Alexander Volkanovski, and this did not go... this just was not a great fight. So unless you're a big Islam Makhachev fan, this kind of went the way that you thought it should. And that's what I'll get to in a minute. That this card, although it was saved by some big names, this kind of went the way you thought it was going to go. And the short notice, you think there's some advantage that, you're a little fresher. You didn't have to go all the way through the fight camp. I don't buy it with these two guys. Islam just dominated, knockout, and it's over. And it was kind of a disappointing card. And I thought it was going to be one. So, you had these two, this main and co-main event that were on short notice, and it was just set up to go this way. And it was fortunate that the UFC was able to save the card and have people buy it, but they didn't get the best product. And that's what I was disappointed in the most about the Islam Volkanovski main event, was because we may never see this again. And I didn't want this to be the one shot that Volk had to get back at Islam and try to, become the double champ. And now he takes it on short notice and gets dominated, gets knocked out. And like I said, we may never see this again, because Dana White said Oliveira's next up, likely, and Gaethje's waiting in the wings. So you got those two fights, but where does Volk fit in again against Islam? Islam wants to go up and fight Leon Edwards or Colby Covington, whoever wins that fight, down the road. So it's a long line to get back to a lightweight title shot for Volk. And I think it's unfortunate that it happened in this situation. Sure, he's going to step up. He's not going to turn it down. He's going to take it. But I think we got cheated out of a better fight. Just the 11 days notice, sure, we ended up with a better card. It saved the card. We didn't have to see Gamrot come in. No disrespect to him. He's earned it. But this was just a bigger event, being in Abu Dhabi. And you didn't want Makhachev, Gamrot right here in this spot. Although it probably would have been a better fight, to be honest. So enough about that. Makhachev is going to be number one pound for pound this week. There's no doubt about that anymore. I just wanted to see a better, fresher Volk coming into this fight. And I knew I wasn't going to see it. And I knew it was going to go this way. just had a really big feeling it was going to go this way. And just Volk just pulled something out that was just a total surprise. Kind of thought that all of the card went the way it was supposed to go. Except for, a few of the fights in the no contest we'll get to here in a second. But enough about the main event. Let's go to the co-main event. So we had Khamzat Chimaev with a majority decision over Kamaru Usman. So, that's not the decision that we thought that we'd get, but it was the result that I thought was coming. Just, again, short notice, Usman coming in there. Sure, he's going to give a great fight. And had this fight been extended, you may have seen a different result, but it wasn't. It was 3 rounds. And Khamzat took it to Usman in the first round, 10-8 rounds across the board, and that really saved Khamzat in the end because you get a draw in there because Usman took the next 2 rounds, according to one of the judges. A majority of the judges had Usman winning the last 2 rounds. So if you go 2 out of 3 judges, they had Usman in the last 2. So Khamzat able to edge out Usman, although dominated him in the first round, and that kind of was the redemption there for Chimaev. So set himself up really well. You're looking at Sean Strickland next. That's going to be a great fight because here's the deal. Strickland is a great striker, supreme striker elite, and he has a huge gas tank, and he can go and go and go. And what we saw from yesterday is Khamzat cannot do that. Strickland is going to stay on the outside, try to avoid the takedowns just like he did against Izzy, and just kind of just wait and wait and wait and wait and see if it wears Khamzat down, and see if he can take it into the 4th and 5th rounds and finish him off. I think that would be Strickland's game plan. But it will be a great fight because if Khamzat is able to get the takedowns, then it's going to be interesting. So we'll see what happens, see when that fight's going to be made, and I'm looking forward to that. I think that's probably one of the premier events that you would have coming up, that Khamzat taking on Sean Strickland would be fantastic. So look for that coming up in early 2024. I think probably the most disappointing, even when you get past the main and the co-main event, you get to a light heavyweight matchup between number 2 and number 7. You get Magomed Ankalaev facing Johnny Walker, and you're just looking for this to be a semifinal matchup. Winner gets the winner of Yuri and Alex Pereira, early 2024, first quarter, and you get a no contest. Ankalaev with the illegal knee, and Walker can't continue. He was pissed about it. He wanted to keep going, but doctor stopped it, and nothing you can do at that point. So very disappointing. And Ankalaev has had 2 really disappointing results. Had the draw against Blachowicz that cost him the vacant light heavyweight title last year, and now a no contest here. So who knows what that means. Maybe Ankalaev still gets the winner of Prochazka and Pereira, but who knows? I mean, you could see this going a whole bunch of different ways. And you could see Jamal Hill coming back before then. I don't think that's likely. Achilles injury is pretty serious, so I don't think we'll see Jamal Hill for a while. So I think you just kind of get forced into an Ankalaev matchup. But that has yet to be seen, and we'll see how that plays out. Some other results we'll talk about: Ikram Aliskerov taking care of Warley Alves, TKO first round, looked phenomenal, and so great job by him. Saeed Nurmagomedov defeating Mun Gafurov sub in the first round in a bantamweight matchup, so great to see there. Saeed getting back in the win column. And then probably one of the ones that did not surprise me at all, number 11, Muhammad Makhachev defeating number 10, Tim Elliott in the flyweight division with a submission in the 3rd round. Makhachev is just one of the rookies in this 2023 products. in the trading cards that he's been phenomenal. Stays undefeated and just dominated Tim Elliott and looked great doing it. He's just a really exciting fighter. Looking forward to seeing what he continues to do inside the octagon. So we keep going down the card. I'm just going to hit just a little bit of the highlights. Mike Breeden with a great knockout in the third round against Anshul Jubilee in the lightweight matchup. He looked great. And Victoria Dudikova against Jinh Frey, unanimous decision. Mike Breeden missed weight by a little bit more than Victoria Dudikova did. Dudikova just a little bit over. So you don't know. I mean, a lot of people talk online how much of an advantage that is or isn't. But nonetheless, they fought, and we got results out of it. So let's go through. So we're going to have a weekend off next weekend. No UFC events next weekend. We'll be on anyway, and we'll preview this next card that we'll talk about here in a second. But we didn't get to do the live or the instant recap that we wanted to do. We want to get into doing more instant reactions and coming on as soon as events end, but with yesterday's being in the afternoon, that was going to be difficult to pull off on a Saturday afternoon. So we'll look to more of the traditional, main events that happen later in the evening on Saturdays, and that's when we'll try to get the show on, around midnight Central Time, right as the pay-per-view card is wrapping up. As soon as we get that final decision, we'll try to jump on here and give an instant reaction. So I kind of like that format better. And we'll still kind of do our thing with cards later, as we've kind of gotten away from opening the boxes. We'll just go through what we have and talk about the fight, and I think the instant reaction will be a better way to do that. So let's go ahead and talk about the fight night on November 4th in Sao Paulo, which has turned out to be a pretty decent card. A heavyweight main event between number 9, Jailton Almeida, and number 10, Derek Lewis, who is stepping in for Curtis Blades. We've got a welterweight matchup between Gabriel Bonfim and Nicholas Dalby. I will tell you, just here, 2 weeks out, heavily leaning Jailton Almeida against Lewis. I don't think it's a good spot for Derek Lewis. He got back in the win column. Great for him. Saved his contract. Took this fight. Stepping in for Blades, but getting that payday, Almeida, it's just stepping stone for him. We've also got another heavyweight matchup with a ranked fighter, number 15 Rodrigo Nascimento against Abdel Mays. This one added this week, middleweight matchup, Chao Barallo against Abus Magomedov stepping in. Interesting, fight. I don't think, if you watch UFC a lot, this sneaky good fight, middleweight matchup between Adolfo Vieira and Armin Petrosyan. That's a pretty good fight. So that's on the main card now. Go down and looking for rookies. We kind of tie it into trading cards. So, the big one, Renat Fakhretdinov, a welterweight matchup between Alazu Zaleski dos Santos. A lot of people looking to see Renat back into action. He's phenomenal, and if you haven't seen him yet, at least watch that on the prelims, because that is one of your next big up-and-comers. If you're looking for the next big thing in the UFC, he's one of them. He is in a rookie in these products, and just sneaky on the radar right now. So watch out for that. So now we'll move on and close out the rest of the year. Obviously, UFC 295 coming up November 11th in New York, Madison Square Garden. Heavyweight championship on the line between John Jones and Stipe Miocic. The former heavyweight champion considered the greatest heavyweight of all time, taking on the greatest of all time overall. So obviously leaning John Jones this one. Huge Stipe fan though. I love watching Stipe fight. Seen some great Stipe fights. Just love his style. Just may think this may just be too past his prime to just step in against somebody like John Jones and get the job done. So really looking forward to the fight though. So it should be interesting. Looking for a better fight than Cyril Gane gave Jones, a few months ago. And then, what do you say about this light heavyweight matchup? The former champion Gary Prochazka against Alex Pereira for the vacant light heavyweight title. So I'm going to lean Gary on this one. I just think he's too much right now. Not saying that Alex Pereira cannot get this done later on, but I just think right now, I think Gary's going to come back and get that belt back. Really interested in the next fight. Featherweight matchup between Diego Lopez and Pat Sabatini. And like I said last week, I think when the 2024 products come out, I think Diego Lopez is going to be your big rookie that people are going to be chasing. So look out for him. If you haven't seen him yet, you will want to watch that fight. Pat Sabatini is a rookie in this year's products. You got a women's strawweight matchup between number 6 Jessica Andrade and number 8 Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie dominant in her last fight, and I think she will do pretty much the same against Jessica Andrade in this one. Lightweight matchup, number 14 Matt Frivola, another 2023 rookie against Benoit Saint Denis. A flyweight matchup between number 8 Matt Schnell, number 14 Steve Seg, and then a women's strawweight top 15 matchup between number 10 Tabitha Ricci and number 13 Lupe Godinez, and that is a sneaky good fight as well. Lupe has looked great lately, and so has Tabitha Ricci. So that should be a really interesting fight. So I'm love Tabitha Ricci, love watching her fight, but leaning Godinez in that one. Then we go down, not a whole lot. The rest of the way, another rookie, John Castaneda, is in action. We've got more on the Fight Night card November 18th in Las Vegas at the Apex. The main event is a middleweight matchup between number 10 Brendan Allen, number 13 Paul Craig. Welterweight matchup between Michael Morales and another rookie in the product, Jake Matthews. Lightweight matchup between Chase Hooper and Jordan Levitt. What else we got? Women's strawweight matchup, number 9 Luana Pinheiro, another 2023 rookie, against number 11 Amanda Ribas. And other rookies on the card, Uros Medic, welterweight division. Featherweight matchup, Jonathan Pierce. And that looks to be about it for that one. Then we get to the end of the year, December 16th, Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena, UFC 296. We've got the welterweight championship on the line between the champion Leon Edwards and the number 2 contender Colby Covington. He has challenged for the belt twice when Usman held the belt, but now it's Edwards and he gets his shot. We've also got the flyweight championship on the line between Alexandre Pantoja and number 4 Brandon Royval. It's a rematch. Pantoja took the first one. So we'll see what happens here as he holds the belt and defends it for the first time. Great welterweight matchup. Number 6 Shavkat Rakhmonov and number 7 Stephen Thompson. Lightweight matchup between Tony Ferguson and Paddy Pimblett. Welterweight matchup, number 10 Vicente Luque and number 11 Ian Machado Gary. Just added this week a top 10 featherweight matchup to this card. Number 6 Josh Emmett and number 8 Giga Chikadze. And an awesome light heavyweight matchup. Number 14 Alonzo Minifield and number 15 Dustin Jacoby. I would not expect that one to make it out of the first round, but whenever I think that, it usually does. Then we got a heavyweight matchup, number 15 Martin Buday against Shamil Gaziev. Women's bantamweight matchup added this week, top 10, number 5 Irene Aldana and Carol Hossa. And welterweight rookie Randy Brown's in action. Flyweight top 15 Tagir Ulanbekov against Cody Durden. And then you got a women's flyweight, Casey O'Neill, ranked number 14 against Ariane Lipsky. And then the last fight listed by the UFC, unranked fighter, but a former champion in bantamweight, Cody Garbrandt, taking on Brian Kelleher. So UFC 296, obviously it's the last card of the year, and UFC is going to do it up right before they take the rest of the year off and come back in January. But that's a huge card right now. Obviously, the pay-per-views are big here at the end of the year, and we're looking forward to those, and we'll recap all of those, and we'll let you know if any other news comes out between now and then. So now is the time in the show where we start talking about cards. And like I said, we're not a break show. We want you to come in and have a chance to get the cards that you want on this show. So you can go to our website, orange-fire.com. You can email me, Russ, at orange-fire.com. Find me on X, at FightCardsRuss, or at Orange Fire Media. Find me on Facebook, my personal page, or the Orange Fire Media page. And also, if you go on eBay, we usually have anywhere from 25 to 40 fighter lots listed. We'll have a numbered card listed, and I'll send some extra stuff with it that you're not expecting. Hopefully you enjoy it. If I have it, some of the rookies, I don't have extra stuff to send. But if you go to Orange Fire Lots of Lots on eBay, you can find everything that we have listed, and we've got more stuff coming up on the way. And I'll show you some of the things that we haven't listed yet. Last week we looked at the Tom Aspinall collection, and this week we are looking at Michael Chandler. So I will go through that at the end of this portion. But first, we go to our hobby top 5. So this is our weekly segment of our UFC Fight Cards Hobby Top 5. And I really debated changing this today, but we're going to keep it the same for one more week. Number 5 is Aaron Blanchfield, top women's rookie in 2023. Really thought about going Makhachev right there, but he may sneak back in there next week. Number 4 is Khamzat Chimaev off the victory last night, solidifying that number 4 spot. Number 3 is the top rookie from last year. That is, of course, Shavkat Rakhmonov. Number 2 is the top rookie from this year. That is, of course, Bo Nickel. And the number 1 position is the bantamweight champion of the world, Sugar Sean O'Malley, off that victory over Aljamain Sterling, has held that top spot since that week. So there you go. Sean O'Malley, Bo Nickel, Shavkat Rakhmonov, Khamzat Chimaev, and Aaron Blanchfield, and maybe go with a tie with Islam Makhachev there for that number 5 spot. Might see that change next week. So let's go through the hits from our live rips that we had. We ripped a whole case of Prism, we ripped a whole case of Donruss, and we ripped 2 hobby boxes of Select. We don't have much of the Select left, but we do have some really good cards from that. We have a little bit of Donruss left and a lot of Prism, so we just want to show those to you, just what we have, and then we'll get to Michael Chandler. So let's go through the Select first, and I believe this is our best card left, in my opinion anyway. Let's put these up here, and we'll get to those in a second. So here we go. This is the best card we have left. Select Purple Rookie Auto, number to 49, Jack Della Maddalena. So, but that's not all. So pairing that together, we've also got a Donruss Jack Della Maddalena Auto. That's a base. Then we throw in a press proof and just some of the other base cards of JDM. Another numbered card we have left is Alexander Rakic with the Sparks memorabilia. Those are numbered to 99. And with that, you get Silver Prism and just some of the other Rockets cards we have to throw in there, like some press proofs, some stuff like that. Then basically all we got left is Billy Quarantillo Sparks that's not numbered. And the only other numbered card that we have is a red Verna Jandaroba rookie, and those are numbered to 175. So that is all of the select that we have left. Then we get into the Don Russ that we have left. Start off with another double auto. And this one is Marvin Vettori. So we get a Don Russ base auto and a Prism base auto. And then we just got some extra Marvin Vettori laying around. We'll throw in with that. Lowest numbered Don Russ cards we have left. We got two numbered 25, but this one is an auto rookie. Blue Hollow Laser Damon Jackson. Then we've got some other Damon Jackson cards, including a Silver Prism. Got a few Jeff Neals. One being the teal, numbered 25. Also got a Prism Orange. Those are numbered to 99, but this one we pulled it out of the pack and had some scratches on the surface. Got a blue wave to throw in there. Then we get into some more Blue Hollow Laser, number to 49, Dean Thomas. We've got two numbered cards of Jared Cannonier. We've got the blue number to 49, the red 75, some more Jared Cannonier, plus a Ruby Wave from last year, Blue Velocity from last year, and even some 2020. Go with Mike Brown with a red hollow laser, even a teal press proof. And Volkan Ozdemir, red hollow laser, but also select tricolor, select silver. Get some of the base. We get through our silvers with Jack Shore. These are numbered to 99. Alexander Romanov, Rene Aldana, silver, and a Hyper Prism. Magomed Ankalaev with Octagon Royalty, the memorabilia. We've also got a rookie Ankalaev, silver. So that is from 2021. Blue Velocity from last year. Some other Ankalaev cards. Michel Pineda with Octagon Canvas and Octagon Royalty of Rafael dos Anjos, and just a Ruby Wave to throw in there with it. And then we get to our Prism. Got a few autos left. Got a rookie auto to start off with Randy Brown. Gets you a Randy Brown silver. So our lowest numbered card left is Macy Chason, Octagon Prism. Those are numbered to 8. This is actually the bookend. You can see there, that's number 8 of 8. If I get my hand out of the way. And that'll get you a Ruby Wave as well. Got a couple of redemptions. We already sent off for these. So haven't listed these yet. I want to wait to see if I can get this auto in to list them together, because I've got Israel Adesanya waiting on this auto, throwback signatures, and you got an orange Prism 99, a purple of 149. So throw those Izzies together. I've also got a BJ Penn Champion Signatures, and that would also get you the red hollow laser, silver hall monitors, green retail. So got some other stuff BJ Penn throw in there. All the way back to 2015 Topps Chronicles. So we've got a Pedro Munoz, an orange, and a hyper. Glover Teixeira, orange. Mario Bautista, got a purple and a silver. Jonathan Pierce, we've got a pretty good little rainbow starter set. A purple. We had the orange. Sold that a while back. It was one of our first hobby boxes. But we got a Ruby Wave, a hyper, and a silver. And we get to Carla Esparza, the purple. Also got a cracked ice. And you get some last year thrown in there. Blue Velocity and some Prism. All the way back to 2015 for Carla Esparza as well. John Jones with a blue. And those are numbered to 175. Select tricolor. Select silver, snapshots, and a base, dominance, silver. You get a Cheeto Vera blue, and a hyper, and also a blue hollow laser. You get Dustin Poirier, the blue, and a purple flood from last year's optic, a silver optic, and then everything we've got left here, all the way back to 2020 and 2015. A blue Yana Kunitskaya, better known as Yana Santos these days. Tisha Torres blue, and Lucas Almeida. Got a few in this one with a blue, a Ruby Wave, and then we've got 3 Lucas Almeida silver prism. You've got Saeed Yakub Kakramanov with a red. Interesting, we pulled these in back-to-back boxes here. We got 2 Frankie Edgar reds and the silver to throw in there. Then you get some Jack Hermanson with a red, a hyper, silver, hyper from last year, and a base from last year. And to finish off our prism, we've got Dominic Reyes. We've also got a tricolor. Then a Piotr Jan red, Piotr Jan silver from, is that last year or 2021? That's 2022. That's last year. Flux silver, purple flood. Then whatever Piotr Jan we got left, even back to 2020 decades next. Carol Hossa red, Jennifer Maya red, and a hyper. And just to finish it off with a Hasbulla Magomedov Ruby Wave that is still available. We ended up pulling 2 of those, and that one looks better than the first one. So right back here with Michael Chandler, let's put those there, and we will get to those in just a second. And that's where I would have gone to commercial break, just to make it more suspenseful. Anyway, we'll get through some of the base stuff. You don't want to see that. But we have it anyway, because we throw it in. Like I said, when you buy stuff, you buy the numbered stuff, the autograph stuff, and then we just throw in the other stuff. And this is the throw in the other stuff. We got a purple, silver, and base from Donruss from last year. And then we've got a bunch of Optic, a bunch of Chronicles. some Donruss from this year, but that's not what you came to see because you have all those. So here we go. And we'll go from least to greatest. So we've got a Ruby Wave. Then we got some rookies from Chronicles from 2021. So got a Flux there. We got the Elite. And we've got the Certified. So those are all 2021 Chronicles. And including the purple score, number 2 of 49. And our first of 2 autographs. So this one was pulled this year. Actually, this last year. Sorry. Optographs. So this is just a base auto, but it's an auto nonetheless. And then our biggest Michael Chandler card, and the reason why we're going through these is we do have a slab. So we have 2022 Chronicles Flux Gold Auto. So these are numbered to 10. This one is numbered 4 out of 10. And there you can see the grade is a 9 overall and a 10 on the autograph. So that is one of our 2 slabs that we have. We showed you the Tom Aspinall last week, that we have a cracked ice from Chronicles that's numbered to 25. I haven't seen many of those Tom Aspinalls listed on eBay, so might be a pretty rare find to actually find one for sale. So that whole collection is for sale, and I'd rather keep all this stuff together between the Chandler and the Aspinalls. But there you can see from the Beckett Grading Service that we sent those off, and so that is available. So hopefully Chandler gets that fight with Conor McGregor scheduled early on in 2024, now that the UFC has changed its drug testing companies and they're no longer using USADA after the first of the year. So it'd be interesting to see if they finally get the Chandler McGregor fight on the books. So it'd be interesting to look forward to, and of course we'll talk all about that. I've kind of held off talking about it because there are just some things that I think are a really big waste of time. That Conor McGregor is one of them. And I was a huge Conor McGregor fan, but I think it's more style than substance at this point. And then the other thing that I don't talk about is that some other shows that have UFC personalities on them, they like to talk about these sideshow boxing matches with like Jake Paul and Logan Paul and KSI, and I don't get it. I mean, these guys can't fight. I don't get the YouTube draw. I mean, just because young kids are watching this stuff, it doesn't make it good fighting. It just makes it entertainment, and I'd rather just talk about real fights than fake fights. So I just think it's a huge waste of time because these people are not boxers. They are just YouTube personalities like me. Hey, I'm not trying to fight anybody yet. Maybe, if I want to get more notoriety, popularity, maybe that's what I have to do. So maybe I'll just start fighting people that nobody cares about. So, because when you have stuff that happens like last weekend, it's like people waste their money. They realize they wasted their money, and they don't buy it again. And you quickly lose. Then you try to get them back, and you end up blowing all the money you made just to try to be popular. And so I just don't like it. So I don't like talking about it. I don't like listening to it on the podcast I listen to. When they start talking about it, I tune out. It loses me pretty quick. So that's why we don't talk about it here. We just talk about the UFC. And hopefully you want to come on and talk about the UFC as well. So use the chat box when you're in here. Come on the show if you want to. And we'll get it worked out so that you can feel part of the show. We want you to feel part of the show. We want you to, if you want to open a box of your own, we can work that out to where you can show that. We can go through it, give some commentary with you, be excited for you when you hit something big, and just whatever you want to do, however you want to be involved. Your level of involvement in this show is what we'll do, because we're just trying to build a community who loves to only talk about UFC fights and not all the other garbage that happens in MMA. Just because we're going through UFC cards with the trading cards, and that's kind of just the focus of relating the fights. That's when we talk about the schedule and the fights, is to relate it back to the cards and what it's doing for their value. So that's kind of the point of the whole show. So next week, like I said, we don't have a big card to talk about because UFC will be taking a week off. But we'll come back, preview the fight night card from Brazil, and we'll see what we go through next week. We've got a couple of things that we're holding on to. I think next week would probably be time for our Khabib Nurmagomedov unveiling of that collection. So we'll go through Khabib next week. We're holding on to Islam and Hamza. We've got those as well. So I've got a pretty good little lot of all three of those Dagestani guys. Just been holding on to those and haven't listed them anywhere yet. But that's coming up, because we'll list everything before the end of the year. And actually, I'm thinking about taking everything down, relisting it, and just try to get some fresh eyes on it, see if we can move some of these products. But before I put them on eBay, if you want something, let me know who you collect, and we'll try to find it and get something in your hands. Like I said, you can reach out to me a whole bunch of different ways, but the main one, if you email me at russ@orange-fire.com, I'll let you know what I have laying around. We've got complete sets of Donruss. I think we got one complete set of Prism. We've got one complete set of Donruss that is every card, 1 through 225, and every insert. And we've also got about 5 or 6 that are 1 through 200 that we can make available as well. We will make available at some point, but since you listen here, you can see those first and you can claim them first before anybody else does. So I appreciate everybody coming in, and we'll talk about more fights next week. Hopefully some more things get announced. And then we'll, if they don't, then we'll preview Fight Night from Sao Paulo and get ready for the next show. And then we'll unveil our Khabib collection next week. So I'm Russ Renaud, and thank you for joining us here on the UFC Fight Cards podcast presented by Orange Fire Media. And we will see you next time, next Saturday or Sunday, just depending on which one we get to. It'll probably be Sunday next week, and then we'll get to the instant reactions the following week on November 4th. So look for that coming up. That we'll start having instant reactions later on in the evening. Be a little more late night show, kind of like it was tonight. But I appreciate everybody joining us here, starting off your week here. Hope you have a great week and a great rest of your night. And we will see you next week right here on the UFC Fight Cards podcast presented by Orange Fire Media.